Everyone is here.
All right, gonna start it now.
Copy that, guys. We're gonna let everyone in. We'll give everyone a couple seconds to join, and then we'll get started here.
Recording in progress.
I can't read anything. They were 9 of 20 third downs. We were 4 of 12.
Yeah.
Man, we lost third downs. 2 fumbles, we lost 1. We lost turnover.
We'll give it a couple more seconds here to let everyone join, and we'll get started.
Oh, because of the interceptions, too. Yeah. He threw 2.
He threw 2.
Chris got 1.
And a blocked field goal.
Yeah. Blocked field goal was huge. I saw your dad.
All right, looks like we've got everyone in. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone, to the 2022 College Football Playoff National Championship post-game press conference. We'll first hear from head coach Kirby Smart, and then we'll open it up for questions for Coach Smart, Stetson Bennett, and Lewis Cine. Following this, we'll be joined by offensive players Jamari Salyer, James Cook, and Zamir White, and defensive players Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, and Nolan Smith. Coach, your remarks, please.
Well, I would open with a lot of respect for the Alabama football team, the Alabama football program. I have immense amount of respect for them, and they fought and battled and lost, one of their best players in the game and continued to battle. And a lot of respect for Coach Saban, and he was very complimentary after the game. But just Dog Nation showing up here, the tremendous belief in this program of our fan base. I mean, everywhere we went in Indianapolis, we saw our people. Somebody told me it would be 60-40. It felt like 70-30. And I just hope they remember this feeling and understand they don't need to get spoiled. They need to stay hungry like these players, and just so proud of our players. And somebody told me, you're not playing for the 41 years that we haven't won a national title. You're playing for the men in the room. And that really touched me, because that's what it was all about, was those guys in the room.
Okay, first we're going to open it up for questions now. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Use the raise hand function, and we'll unmute your line. First, we're going to go ahead with Chip Towers. Just a second here.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on a fantastic year and a fantastic season. I've heard your reference there to some property destroyed in Indy tonight, which obviously goes back to Larry Munson. Can you talk about winning, helping the fans, kind of referring to the fans that you just talked about how much you want to do it for the men in the locker room? Is there some satisfaction in doing that for these the fans who have followed this program for all those 41 years?
Yeah, there's a lot of satisfaction doing that for them, but ultimately it's those guys in the room, the blood, sweat, and tears, and 200 and something workouts and 160 something practices. I appreciate them so much. Our support has been tremendous when we go on the road. Our fans have been absolutely incredible. I think about Lauren Smith, who's sitting there. I think about hugging Vince Dooley's neck after the game, and I'm in tears and he's in tears. I got off the elevator the other night, and I thought it was a sign. When the elevator opened on the 15th floor, Vince Dooley was sitting on a bench, locked out of his room, and I thought, God put him there for me to see him the night before this game. And he was waiting on his key to come up to his room. And I just knew that meant something. And it was a special, special win, but it wouldn't have happened without these two guys sitting next to me and those men in that locker room. Just incredible, incredible connection and toughness. That was a tough game.
And next, we're going to go to Pat 40.
Kirby, congratulations. What things did you concentrate on changing, improving from December to now against Alabama?
Well, we practiced a lot more man-to-man. Lewis can tell you we probably simplified some things, made it a little easier. Didn't want one to beat us, and we had some poor plays on him where we left him open. But we wanted to affect Bryce, and and we felt like if we could get off the field on third down, we'd be fresher and we'd have a chance to rush better. I thought Coach Lanning, Muschamp, Trey Scott, and Schumann did a tremendous job putting a plan together, but the players carried it out. We really focused on playing man-to-man and doing it better than they did it. It was no scheme trick or anything else, and these guys bought into that.
Next question from Seth Emerson. Go ahead, Seth.
Kirby, if someone had told you 5 years ago that Stetson Bennett would lead you to a national championship on offense, what would you have thought?
I'd have thought, hell yeah, we won a national championship. I mean, I'd have been pumped. 5 years ago, he was delivering passes like Baker Mayfield against the scout team. And, you know, there's a lot of guys that saw him on that scout team make plays with his feet, his arm whip, and decision-making, and we were very impressed. But, again, to think that it would come this far from that national championship he was a part of and there to this one, man, what a story, you know. And there's so many guys on this team that, I mean, I want to single him out. I want to single him out. William Poole, guys, this guy made a lot of plays tonight on the ball, and he was not even playing 3-4 weeks ago. Jalen Carter, I mean, there's a lot of guys that just made. A.D. Mitchell, a lot of guys made plays, and that's what this team has been, a collective group of people stepping up when they're needed.
Next, we'll go over to Mike Griffith. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, for Stetson, you guys had fallen behind 18-12, and you responded so quickly. Can you talk about that 4-play, 75-yard drive and just the aggression you attacked Alabama with?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that once I fumbled the ball, I was not going to be the reason we lost this game. And, you know, Coach Monk dialed up awesome play action. You know, we'd been running the ball a lot, and I think we went, 3 straight play action and then one deep ball that we got them to jump off sides because they've been timing up the snap a lot. But, it's the thing that Coach Smart and the whole team has been preaching the whole year: resiliency, toughness, composure, connection. And I knew that those guys beside me had my back, and I had their back too.
Next, we'll go to Anthony Dasher. Go ahead, Anthony.
Coach Martin, you talk often about this team's resiliency and, battling back from, adversity, whatever you want to call it. Just the third quarter there, Stetson was fumbling the ball, finally gets the ball at the 20-yard line. They get a field goal, but do you guys find a way to come back to speak to that whole circumstance?
I'm sorry, Anthony. I know you asked about resiliency and coming back. I thought I heard something about the field goal, but I couldn't hear you.
Thanks, Coach. I couldn't hear myself, all that background noise in my headset here. No, I just asking about the third quarter. Stetson was to fumble the ball. They get a field goal, but y'all bounce back. Just talk about the resiliency you guys showed to bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, to go out there, I guess you're saying that after the fumble we did hold them to a field goal. I'm getting confused on the drive. Oh, I got you. Yeah, our red zone defense has been incredible all year. I can't tell you how many times this guy's lined up and had to blitz, play somebody in man-to-man. We practice red zone defense a lot, don't we? And we were number 1 in the country, or maybe 2 or 3 in red zone defense, because we got some grown men up front that don't let you run it. We force you to throw it, and then we stop you throwing it. And those red zone stops now, there were multiple times that we had huge stops in the red zone, and our defensive staff did a tremendous job. We felt really confident going into the game that if we wouldn't give up explosives from 50 and 60, we get them tackled. Even Keeley's play, he runs the guy down and tackles him. We're going to stop him in the red area because they can't run it. They're going to have to throw it because they can't run it with our front in there.
We'll go over next to Connor Riley. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, hey, Kirby, wanted to ask about Jalen Carter. He makes the block field goal, and he comes in and plays offense. What does it say about him and the rest of the team that you have guys who are so multi-positional and able to do so much for this team?
Yeah, it's just a credit to the toughness and really tenacity they have. I mean, I took him off kickoff returns. I wanted him to be fresh rush passer, and he was pissed at me. I thought he was going to beat me up over there when I told him he couldn't go on kickoff return because he wanted to go on kickoff return. He'd been playing defensive line. He had blocked the field goal. He played on offense and played fullback. So he's a talented player, and sky's the limit for him. He's got to figure out what his ceiling is and make sure he plays with great effort all the time.
Next, we'll go over to Laney Higgins. Go ahead, Laney.
Hey there, Stetson. This question is for you. I really wanted to know, all season long, there's been people in your ear, maybe not in your flip phone, but in your ear about, how you shouldn't be the starting quarterback or how, maybe this shouldn't be the season. And I know it's meant a lot to have Kirby stand by you all season, but, when you get to that point of both the fumble, the emotion that you feel there, you could see your face on the sideline, to then the tears that happened a little bit later during that pick six, like, was that sequence of events, like, did it feel cathartic or just emotionally, where was your head at as you were going through that last, 10 minutes of the game?
The fumble was not cathartic, but the the fumble, that was just football. There was no, I put my head down and say, that's not going to be how we lose this game. And the teammate, AD went up and made it. He ran a great route. He went up. Jermaine on the bench route, we'd ran that play in practice probably 5 or 6 times. We'd never thrown the bench route because we were trying to hit the skinny route on the right. And just the fact that Jermaine ran it, won like he did. Kenny finishing his catch over there on the left, holding up in protection. It just the whole drive. Everybody doing their job. That's what this football team is. That's what Lewis does every day for the defense. He's the leader over there. I love these guys. And then, the tears afterwards, that just hit me. I hadn't cried in, I don't know, years, but it just came over me. That's what, when you put as much time as we do into this thing, blood, sweat, tears, it means something.
We'll go over next to Jeff Schultz. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, this isn't Jeff Schultz, but I've got the unmute thing. Can I ask a question?
Sure. Go ahead, Steve. We'll go to Jeff next.
Okay, it just popped up. For both players, how do you deal with the knowledge now that you will be regarded forever in a special place in Georgia history and among Georgia fans, much like the 1980 teams?
Well, for one, it's a great honor, of course. What the coaches through recruiting and everything have done for the program, and the goal is moving forward is to stay hungry and not get complacent. That's the worst thing you could possibly do is get complacent. So our goal is to continue on being chasing greatness in terms of how we practice, the things we do, the players, even younger, older guys being great leaders. So I would say moving forward, we just got to continue everything we did this year and just up at a level.
All right, Jeff Schultz. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, me. Kirby, can you describe your emotions? That interception on the pick six happened pretty close to you on the sideline. Can you just describe your emotions as you were watching it and then running down the sideline, sort of chasing after Keeley? What was going through your mind there?
A sad thing is I was screaming to get down, and that was the wrong play there. I saw the receiver coming behind him, and pessimistic thought or whatever. I was worried about the guy stripping the ball from behind. And then I realized 11 wasn't going to catch Keeley. And once I realized 11 wasn't going to catch Keeley, I didn't want to get a holding call on Channing. And all I could think about was get down, we can win this game, run the clock out. If they don't have timeouts there, the play is to get down. But they did have 3 timeouts, so they probably could have got the ball back. So going up 2 scores was the right move. And probably a little prematurely, I felt like we had won the national championship. But, we still had to get a stop because they could score 2-point and get it onside. And I was a little concerned with that. But it was ironic because the ball was in the air. All we've done this year is throw balls to our DBs. You can ask Lewis. We've thrown millions of balls because of playing the ball in the air. And when that ball was in the air, I said, he's going to catch this thing. And we're going to win this game. And he did.
We'll go next to Pete then. We'll go ahead, Pete.
Stetson, a couple weeks ago in Athens, you spoke about how much Georgia football means to so many people. You grew up in the state, a lot of people in the state. You said you almost don't like to think about it because it becomes a little bit overwhelming. I'm wondering if you can articulate the feeling of delivering this type of special joy to so many, really millions of people across the state by winning tonight.
Well, I mean, first of all, it was the defense who kept us in this game. You know, while we were stumbling over our own feet the entire first half, and then starting out in the second half. So I mean, they won this game for us. You know, we executed a few drives. We could have done so much better. You know, but we got the job done whenever we needed to. You know, it hadn't hit me yet. I guess it hit me a little bit on the sideline, but you know, no, I can't articulate it. I'm not that smart. But it feels great.
All right, next we'll go over to Mark Weiser. Go ahead, Mark.
Kirby, I imagine you envisioned this kind of night for the program. How did the reality that you just experienced out there post-game feel in terms of, you know, you mentioned hugging Vince, and you're probably worn out by all the hugs you had, but I imagine it'll be like that for a while.
Yeah. You know, Mark, the feelings I have inside, the emotion I have for these players and these young men, I mean, I'm looking over here at these guys, JD and James, and these guys waiting to go. And I've never been around a group of players that really wanted it so bad and wouldn't be denied. I mean, remember, a lot of these guys decided to come back, and they bought in, and we changed a lot of off-season things. You know, we cut out the indoor, and we went to the stadium. We did a lot of things, and the toughness brought a lot more toughness back. And I just can't say enough about the leaders. I'm so happy for the Georgia people. I'm happy for the people that get this for so many years they've been without it. But I told the guys in the locker room, just take a picture of this, because I think back to the '80 championship picture and seeing all those players and the Frank Rosses and the Herschel Walkers and all these people that have reached out and said things. Our guys have accomplished that, something special, and they, as they say, they've become legendary. And I want that for them. It's not for me. And I know it's for the Georgia people and all that, but it's really for these guys who have given so much. And I certainly appreciate what they've done.
All right, next we're going to go to Ryan Dennis. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, Stetson, you there? Hey, I know that you as a Georgia guy, you know, for all your life, you kind of played it off that you're a football player now and not a fan. But you know, how will you celebrate this when you get back to Athens, and what's the first thing you're kind of looking forward to doing?
Well, I think we might celebrate a little bit tonight here in Indy first, but
if we can ever get out of here.
But I hadn't seen my family yet. I just want to go hug their neck. You know, they're the ones, you know, who've been in my corner the entire time, always supported me. So that's what I'm looking forward to right now.
All right, last question here for Michael DeCourcy. Go ahead, Michael.
Yes, Stetson, I wondered if you could go back to the start of the drive, the one that put you up 8 before the pick 6, and what your thought process was there with, you know, a 1-point lead, what you were hoping to get accomplished there, how you hope to accomplish it.
Well, I think we had, what, 6 minutes?
Yeah.
About 6 minutes left. So the goal was to score a touchdown because, you know, in our minds, we figured they were going to go down and score, and we were preparing for that. We didn't think 1 point was enough. But it was also to bleed the clock out while we're doing it, you know. So, I mean, you saw, our offensive line, we mashed on them there on that drive. You know, Coach Smart's over there doing this. You know, we played Georgia football that drive. Running backs ran hard. We weren't going to be stopped on that drive, I don't think. It was, it felt great just handing the ball off and watching those dudes, you know, lead us down the field.
I want to close with this. I want to tell all you guys I appreciate the coverage you've given us. I know at times you get frustrated, but we appreciate what you guys do, and it's a blessing to be the head coach at the University of Georgia. And the men on this team A lot of them juniors and seniors will be remembered for a long time. This is a special group. Give them their due. When you start talking about Jordan Davis, Zamir White, N'Kobe Dean, James Cook, a special group that will be remembered for a long time. You know what? On that sideline tonight, I saw Richard LeCount, DeAndre Swift, Nick Chubb came over to me. You know, that was the group that was crying in the locker room, and this group made it right for them. So thank you guys, and go Dogs.
We'll take these.
Oh, yeah, those are y'all's trophies.
Take care of these. We'll get these to you.
Everyone hang tight. We'll be joined here shortly by a new set of players.